didn't sound anything like that.
No, Michael, of course, makes it his own. He's got some Artetum in there and some Mike Zaborski in there.
A lot of his Fletcherism.
Yeah, Fletcherism. Yeah. Fats, Waller, yeah. Move over to another band leader from big name in Harlem. Actually, was the other band leader at the Cotton Club, and his name was Cab Calloway. Any Cab Calloway fans out there? I hope so. Yeah.
I think libraries are changing. Libraries are transforming into something that's a little bit more community centered. It's always been community knowledge, but now we are tapping into bringing culture and things into the neighborhoods. So we're looking at incorporating what our traditional messages of collecting knowledge, collecting information, and changing the way that we disseminate that. We're really tapping into people who are experts within our community, such as RJ Spangler, people who have expertise that they can share, and we're making information more accessible all the time, and not only through things like the internet, but now doing classes and stuff like this. So. Especially when we have such a rich heritage here of different musical groups, not only bands that have started here, but we have people who come in and live in our area who have had musical experience elsewhere and bring it in here. So we kind of have a nice mixing of different kind of musical styles here. So it's really, really cool.
Hi, my name is RJ Spangler. I'm a band leader, drummer, bit of a musical historian, and I was here tonight at the Oak Park Library with my band, the Planet D Nonet, Nonet meaning 9, like a quintet is 5 or a quartet is 4, D for Detroit. These are my musicians packing up behind me, and we just finished a very successful performance here at the Oak Park Library.
John Paxton there, folks. Justin on the clarinet. In that one tune we did in Stompy Jones, the only time.
We are a swing band. We specialize in black bands, actually. We play the repertoire of Ellington, Waller, Basie, Henderson, guys like that. The guys that started this whole thing out. The bands that existed when jazz started. You had Louis Armstrong and that New Orleans gang that really started this music, and then it went up to Chicago where they kind of changed the rhythm to a more smoother 4/4 beat, and then that came to literally with Louis Armstrong to New York City and Harlem, and Ellington and guys like that came out of that whole scene. Cab Calloway, we did all tunes by all those guys today, and that scene in the late 1920s into the 30s really captivates us and what we do with this band. It's entertaining jazz. After World War II and the swing era came to an end, jazz had a disconnect. There was bebop, which was small club music, very intellectual and certainly very hard to play, but also very expressive and very beautiful. But it kind of cut down the audience size, because before that it was a pop music. It was played in the radio. What was the pop music of the day was what we called jazz at that point. There were singers and show tunes were involved and things like that. Later on, the show tunes were used more like for improvisers to play on, and you might hear really long solos. Our things aren't so much about extended solos, but more about just a quick improvisation on the melody. But we try to stick to the melody, and it's we try to put the entertainment in jazz.
Not one of the easiest instruments to pick up and start blowing into and getting notes, and you know, it takes time. We're going to play a song called Minnie the Moocher, and this is a great one. Okay, here we go.
Is primal. I think that's the thing it gets back to, is, you know, it's something that taps into the very nature of who we are. You know, if we didn't have art, if we didn't have music, we would have so much more difficult time to be able to express ourselves. So.
Folks, here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a low-down a hoochie coocher. She was the roughest, toughest frail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Hidey, 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 hidey. Hoody, 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 ho. Hoody, 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 ho. Heedy, 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 heedy. Hidey, 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 ho. She messed around with a bloke named Smokey. She loved him though he was pokey. He took her down to Chinatown and showed her how to kick the gong around. Showed her how to kick the gong around. Hidey, 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 hidey. Hidey, 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 hidey. Hoody, 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 ho. Hoody, 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 ho. Heedy, 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 heedy. Hidey, 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 ho. Hidey, 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 ho. She had a dream about the king of Sweden. He gave her things that she was needing. He gave her a home built of gold and steel, a diamond car with platinum wheels. Woody, woody, way. Woody, woody, way. Woody, woody, wah. Woody, woody, wah. Woody, weebo. Woody, weebo. Woody, woody, ho.
Transcendent. I really think it's something, you know, music that you know, generates in one area, and how it flows from one area to the country to another, and how it gets transformed.
I'm in my 4th decade of drumming and playing music around town. In the music business has taken me to 48 states, about 15 countries in Europe, 8 provinces in Canada. I've played with blues singers and jazz artists, and had a pretty darn good time doing it. I've played the Montreal Jazz Festival, the Chicago Blues Festival. I've had some great times. I played the Apollo Theater in New York.
In a lot of ways, it's personal. Each person brings their own understanding to that music and to art. You know, so each of us interprets it our own way. We look at each individual piece of music or art with our own background and our own experiences, and that colors the way that we, you know, can express.
Soul, because music needs to have soul. Passion, because it needs to come from the heart. Rhythm, because it needs, you need to feel it in your feet.
James O'Donnell, Goody White the third. Yeah.
Here's a tune, I believe, written by Don Rich.
Hey, this is RJ Spangler, and we are here at the Oak Park Library. We had a ball playing for this audience.
Or a duck in the bucket or a 50. You know. All right.
I found a new baby, I found a new girl. My best baby, yeah, got me a world.
We get to have an awesome band come in and play. So, but they, you know, they have a really good reputation around. They always put on a great show. People always love them. We always have at least, you know, 75, 80 people come in for a show like this. So
There are many great musicians in town. There are great improvisers, and occasionally I'm able to hire someone to play in my band. But my thing is really trying to connect with an audience and teach them about this music. That's our heritage as Americans.
library. Today you got to view the performance of RJ Spangler and his 9-piece band, Planet D Nonet. Thank you very much for attending or watching on TV. Thanks.
Hey, this is RJ Spangler. We're here at the Oak Park Library. We came here to swing, and we did our thing. We had a really fine time with a really fine audience, and that's all I got to say. Go to www.rjspangler.com if you want to know where we're at down the road. Thanks, and goodbye.
I found a new baby, I found a new girl. My best baby, yeah, got me the world. Her new kind of loving, oh, has been her slave. Her new to loving is all my crave. Oh, sweetness with kiss, hopeless, I can't resist. Tell me that much stars on the eyes and lift her eyes. You don't need me, I've something before. Baby, so baby, that's all. I found a new baby, so baby, that's all. I found a new baby, so baby, that's all. Hot chance. We passed it around. Pretty White, Mike Sikorsky, Ken Ferry on the feed bag.